tó àwọn aláṣẹ létí. Report to the nearest authorities.
Má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá.
Ìlera lọ́rọ̀. This awareness is brought to you by Radio Afinju.
Wherever you're listening or watching Radio Afinju, the time is 3 p.m.
First, a look at the highlights. Tinubu governors urge prayers for peace as Muslims celebrate Eid Maulud. Junta led West African states to launch new passport. FBI probes suspect re-enroute over potential assassination attempt. A very good afternoon and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Stella. Aderanti. The news in detail. President Bola Tinubu and governors have sent messages of goodwill and congratulations to Nigerian Muslims on the 2024 commemoration of the Maulud Nabi, the birthday of Prophet Muhammad. In a statement by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the president urged Muslims to use the period for deep reflection and remembrance of the Prophet's exemplary conduct and noble teachings. President Tinubu also urged the Muslim faithful to dedicate the Maulud holiday to pray for the country and show empathy and compassion towards one another. Similarly, Adamawa State Governor Amadu Fintiri said the occasion called for deeper reflections within the human race. Also, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara urged Muslims to show love, tolerance, perseverance, patriotism, and commitment to the growth and development of the state. Also, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, in a statement by his spokesperson, Eseme Eyibo, prayed that the occasion brings peace, joy, and blessings to the nation and the world at large. The presidential initiative on compressed natural gas has commenced the distribution of 1,000 conversion kits across some states in the Federation to minimize the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja to mark the commencement of the distribution of 1,000 conversion kits across some states, the program director of the initiative, Michael Uluwagbemi, said the move will bring down transportation costs. According to him, the initiative will generate over 100,000 direct jobs over the next 3 years, as it aims to convert about 3 million vehicles within the same period. Also speaking, the warehouse manager of the PICN facility, Moses Onate, while unveiling to newsmen some of the conversion kits at their warehouse in Ibafu, Ogun State, said the distribution has been carried out under a code name, First Come, First Serve. He said 450 conversion kits had already been given out to states, with an additional 550 awaiting distribution. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo has declared that the local government election scheduled for September 28, 2024 will proceed as planned, emphasizing that no individual or force can halt it. The Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, ANSEC, chaired by Genevieve Osakwe, had earlier confirmed the date. Addressing a faction of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, at the Dora Akunyili Women's Development Center in Awka, Soludo stressed that the importance of unity within the party as they prepare for the upcoming election. The meeting was attended by transition chairmen and councillors from the 21 local government areas who are poised to transition into elected officials. Accompanied by his deputy, Onyekachukwu Ibezim, Soludo reiterated that APGA remains the progressive party in Nigeria and assured the stakeholders that the election date is fixed. The National Bureau of Statistics said Nigeria's inflation rate has decelerated for 2 consecutive months from 34.19% in June to 34.40% in July and now 32.15% in August. According to the Consumer Price Index report released by the Bureau, the headline inflation rate is to 32.15% in August 2024, while food inflation stood at 37.52% in the same month. The MBS said food inflation rate in August 2024 was 37.52% on a year-on-year basis, which was 8.18% points higher compared to the rate recorded in August 2023. On a month-on-month basis, the food inflation rate in August 2024 was 2.37%, which showed a 0.10% decrease compared to the rate recorded in July 2024. The University of Port Harcourt, Uniport, has refuted report making the rounds that there was an inter-gang clash that resulted in the death of students in the institution. This is contained in a statement by the university spokesman Sam Wenu in Port Harcourt. Wenu was reacting to an online video which claimed that some students of a university recently died during an inter-gang clash. He said that the said incident was a fight between students, expressing worries that it was misreported. The spokesman said it was unfair that the incident was misinterpreted by some sections of the media. According to him, the university was strongly committed to the highest standards of professionalism in handling security matters. In other parts of Africa, 3 West African countries run by military juntas will be launching a new biometric passport in the coming days as part of their withdrawal from the wider regional bloc, ECOWAS. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, whose military leaders took over power in a series of coups between 2020 and 2023, announced their plan to leave the bloc in January. Following the coups, West African countries sanctioned the juntas, aiming to push them to quickly restore civilian rule. But the 3 nations that now form the Alliance of Sahel States have so far resisted the calls, opting to cement their alliance. Goita, who is the acting president of the Sahel Alliance, spoke a day before the military governments were due to mark the first anniversary since they made a decision to create their own alliance. He said they were also planning to launch a joint service that would promote a harmonious dissemination of information in 3 states. Burkina Faso had earlier revealed its decision to launch a new biometric passport without the ECOWAS logo. In Asia, a series of shootouts between rival tribes over a disputed gold mine has left at least 30 people dead in Papua New Guinea. According to the country's police commissioner, security forces have been given emergency powers to stop the fighting, including the use of lethal force. He added that alcohol sales have been banned and an overnight curfew is in place. Unrest had been brewing near the Porgera gold mine in the country's central highlands ever since members of a Sakara clan settled on land owned by their rivals, the Piande, sometime in August. Police say that on Sunday alone, more than 300 shots were fired by tribesmen after peace talks between the clans had failed. There were reports in local media that the Canadian-owned mine, the second largest in Papua New Guinea, was briefly forced to cease operations as the fighting intensified. Hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated as a powerful typhoon made landfall near China's financial hub, Shanghai. The China Meteorological Administration said Typhoon Bebinka hits the coastal area of Lingang New City in Shanghai's east, the strongest storm to hit Shanghai in 75 years. According to local officials, as a precaution, more than 400,000 people in the Shanghai metropolitan area were relocated by Sunday evening. A further 9,000 people were evacuated from the Shogming district, an island at the mouth of the Yangtze River that is also part of Shanghai. Hundreds of flights were cancelled as the city's 2 main airports grounded all flights. Train services were also cancelled and highways closed. A 40 km/h speed limit was imposed on roads inside the city. Shanghai's 25 million residents have been advised to stay home as the storm batters the city. Now in Europe, the death toll from the floods that hit Central Europe over the weekend has risen, with more casualties recorded in the Czech Republic, Poland, and Austria. In the Czech Republic, one person drowned in a stream close to the town of Bruntel in the northeast of the country, while 7 people are still missing. 4 people are known to have died in Poland, although a spokesman for the Interior Ministry said the precise cause of death was still to be determined in at least one case. And in Austria, 2 people aged 70 and 80 died in the northeast of the country. One of them, a resident of the town of Hobstorf, was apparently trying to pump water out of his apartment when he drowned. 8 deaths were recorded over the weekend in Poland, Romania, and Austria, where a firefighter was killed during a flood rescue operation. Although conditions have stabilized in some parts of Central Europe, others are bracing themselves for more disruption and danger. Liberal Democrat Deputy Leader Daisy Cooper has told her party's conference how doctors warned her that without major surgery, she would only have 4 days left to live. The St. Albans Member of Parliament said her Crohn's disease was so aggressive her weight dropped to 7 stone and she was told she may never work again. She told the conference that the NHS had saved her life, but that she feared for anyone going through the experience today. She accused the previous Conservative government of having brought the NHS to its knees and promised the Liberal Democrats would work with the Labour government. Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are forms of inflammatory bowel disease which cause the immune system to go into overdrive and attack healthy tissue in the gut. And from the Americas, the FBI says it is investigating what appears to be an attempted assassination of Donald Trump after the U.S. Secret Service opened fire on a gunman at the former president and Republican candidate's golf resort in Florida. U.S. media named the suspect as Ryan Wesley Rout, whom was interviewed by multiple news outlets in Ukraine, where he had traveled to support its war effort in 2022. Secret Service and Homeland Security agents have searched Rout's former home in Greensboro, North Carolina. The incident comes some 2 months after Trump was shot during a rally in Pennsylvania when a bullet grazed his ear, and weeks before the country's November 5th presidential election. Tito Jackson, an original member of the Jackson 5 pop group and brother of the late Michael Jackson, has died aged 70. An official cause of death is yet to be determined. Tito performed in the famous ensemble with brothers Jackie, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael, who died in 2009. He was recently in Munich ahead of a performance that the group were due to give. Steve Manning, a longtime Jackson family friend and former Jackson family manager, made the announcement in public. The news was confirmed in an Instagram post by Jackson's 3 sons, Taj, Taril, and TJ Jackson, who were themselves an R&B pop trio 3T in the 1990s. The group was formed in 1964. Tito played the guitar and provided backing vocals. Jackson 5 has sold more than 150 million records worldwide. In 1980, the siblings were presented with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. In the Middle East, Israeli forces continue deadly assaults across Gaza, killing at least 10 people in Nuseirat camp, as well as targeting Gaza City's Zaytun and Sheikh Radwan neighborhoods, where another 10 people, including children, were killed. Israeli settlers assault students and teachers at school in Marejat, an area northwest of Jericho in the occupied West Bank. The Israeli military, after months of denials, admitted there was a high probability that 3 Israeli captives who died in Gaza last November were killed in its own air attacks. At least 41,226 people have been killed and 95,413 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. In Israel, the number of those killed in the Hamas-led attacks on October 7 is at least 1,139, while more than 200 people were taken captive. Novelist Elias Khoury, one of Lebanon's most renowned writers and a fervent advocate of the Palestinian cause, has died at the age of 76. Khoury, a leading voice of Arab literature, had been ill for months and admitted and discharged from hospital several times over the past year until his death. Over several decades, Khoury produced a large body of work in Arabic that touched on the themes of collective memory, war, and exile, alongside writing for newspapers, teaching literature, and editing a publication linked to the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Many of his books were translated into foreign languages, including French, English, German, Hebrew, and Spanish. And talking sports, Augsburg manager Jess Thorop has heaped plaudits on Frank Onyeka for his impressive debut for the club. Onyeka made his maiden appearance for the Bundesliga club in the 3-1 win over St. Pauli. The 26-year-old provided an assist in the game. Thorop said Onyeka showed his quality in the encounter. Onyeka joined Augsburg from Premier League club Brentford on a season-long loan deal on transfer deadline day. Before we go, here again are the highlights. 3 West African countries run by military juntas will be launching a new biometric passport in the coming days as part of their withdrawal from the wider regional bloc ECOWAS. President Bola Tinubu and governors have sent messages of goodwill and congratulations to Nigerian Muslims on the 2024 commemoration of the Maulud Nabi, the birthday of Prophet Muhammad.